So I'll try to show you a little bit of what I've been up to. I've been sanding the whole boat all over, kind of working from the outside in. There are places where you're going to have cracks in your boat. Let's see if I can find one. Well, like over here, these are called stress cracks. And what they advise you to do on most of the Boston whaler sites I've seen is to take a Dremel tool and just run along and open up that stress crack so that when you put the filler in, it'll go down in there. Now here's a place where I've done it, right here. It's really easy once you start this Dremel for it to get away from you. I mean, it kind of like, once it's going, it can just take it on the course pretty easily. So you have to work out slow and careful. There's some kind of big ones right down there. And also the way that smells, I can tell I ought to have a dust mask on when I use it. Another thing that's hard to do is to sand up in these areas where I can't get this big sander. Now I was at a yard sale a while back, and this guy had one of those little triangular sanders that went up into tight spaces. And I remember buying it because I was thinking, oh boy, I can use that. Well, who knows what I did with it. I found the other stuff that came with it. I haven't found it. So I think what I'm going to do is just take some time and clean this out. I've still got stuff piled in here from when I was doing engine work. I got 2 sets of heads back here that could go in the back. Start to get all these nuts and bolts and tools in another place because I don't need them when I'm working on the boat, and I will need them when I put that motor back in that Rambler. And in the process of cleaning up, I might find that tool I'm looking for. So I'm gonna do that. I've even got I got stuff in the floor here that needs to be swept up. There's nuts and bolts and metal and washers and all kind of stuff in there that came off the boat trailer. All right, I'll get back to you after I get caught up a little bit. I'm going to try a little lightweight wire brushing back there and see what happens. It works a little bit on some of that. It looks like what's in this floor here is some fiberglass. I don't know if somebody patched a hole or what. Well, that's actually kind of working. It's not removing the fiberglass, but grinding off the thick layer so that I can at least make it kind of smooth. And it's cleaning up these areas in between. I'm thinking I'm going to try that. I'm never going to get that really clean, but I don't think it's going to matter too much because I'm going to paint over it anyway. I'm going to put a coat of primer and a coat of that blue paint on top of it. As long as I can knock off enough of that stuff to so that the Gluvit will make a good contact on the floor, that will be good. And once that's done, it's going to make a lot of the other stuff a lot easier because there's stuff on that floor that it's too work intensive to try and patch every little spot. But I think that stuff might be just what I need for it. So this is a 2-part 8-to-1 epoxy sealer. So I'll need to mix up a bit of that and then probably put it on with a paintbrush or a roller or something like that. So I'm going to start the process of getting ready to do that. Every so often I'm going to blow out this dust bowl. Now, one of the things I don't want to paint is this serial number. And the serial number on these boats is painted on right there, so I don't want to paint over that. What I'm going to try to do is wash this out real good. And I am going to need to get in here because I've got some of these cracks like I was talking about that need to be fixed. And it may be that Gluvit, which is clear, could go right over that and be clear enough to preserve that number so that it wouldn't be able to be washed off in the future. But the first thing I need to do is just clean all of this. I've been using some of this 3M glass cleaner, and I got some carburetor cleaner, and I got some steel wool, and I got some paper towels. And we're just going to go to work on that. See what kind of success we can have with trying to make that clean.